Hello and welcome to my channel once again. I am Polumi and I'm here in Tokyo right now. The weather out here in Tokyo is quite pleasant today. Though the Tokyo Metropolitan Government has decided to tighten the rules and the restrictions that were imposed by the government earlier this month to contain the spread of the virus further in Tokyo. We'll talk about these conditions here in Tokyo in another episode. Maybe for now, we'll be focusing on the conditions that India has been facing throughout the lockdown that has been imposed in the country. The country has so far recorded over 29,000 cases and over 930 deaths. The government also had to ban domestic and international travel to prevent the further spread of the virus.
The Indian government has been proactive in many ways in dealing with the current global coronavirus crisis. Despite being the world's second most populous country, the fatality rate in India is far lesser in comparison to many developed nations, thanks to screening measures and now total lockdown imposed by the Indian government. Also, increase in the number of screening tests and screening centers is helping in early detection and treatment at early stages. Also, production of ventilators and masks inside our country is also helping protect the citizens of this nation. The Indian government is not only looking after us, but also looking after the people who are living below the poverty line. Shelters and free meals for the homeless and the displaced is also helping them deal with this pandemic crisis.
One of the major crises in the country are the people living under the poverty line and are those who are the daily wage earners. After the announcement by the Prime Minister on March 25th, the country went into a complete lockdown within just 4 hours. The poor had a tough time during the lockdown, which was evident in several instances during the lockdown, be it when the migrants gathered in Delhi's Anand Vihar or Mumbai's Bandra with the hope to return back home.
Like to focus on those 23% of the world poor that stays in India. Why I'm focusing on them? Because they are the ones that are without livelihood, they are the ones that are suffering on the streets, they are the ones that are committing suicide because of lack of food. If I'm to talk about the economy of India, basically it has taken a big beating. Reason is we are like majority of the shops, majority of the small scale business is completely shut down because it is in the unorganized sector, and the service sector also has taken a beating with regards to the transportation, the entertainment industry. Everything is suffering losses. Only reason is because we have to maintain a proper social distancing, so we cannot go out. Normal businesses cannot run. People are trying to scramble back to their homes, and they are leaving their city. They are leaving their place of work in the cities. They are traveling back to their rural areas. So there is a high chance that this virus might spread at community level, and we as a country are not at all prepared to take on a full-fledged attack of this virus. The reason is you might find that only like entire India, for a population of 1.3 billion, we have only 40 to 50,000 odd testing kits. We don't have adequate number of beds. We don't have adequate number of ventilators.
India is also facing criticism for its seemingly low testing figures and is being urged to follow in the footsteps of other nations by ramping up the number of testings per day.
If it does not start testing a large number of cases very quickly, it's going to break out, and there could be a full-fledged problem which the Indian government might face. And more so ever, if the proper testing and proper numbers don't come to the surface and this lockdown is persisted, India could be in the midst of a civil war. So this virus will create more problems in the future if not contained properly, or if Indian government is not proactive and people have to come out of their homes instead of hiding. When they have symptoms, they have to come out of their homes and they have to become proactive in cooperating with the government and trying to find a constructive solution how to solve this particular issue.
The levels of testing in India are also in stark contrast with those in the European or the East Asian countries. India has so far tested over 4.47 lakh samples, and of these,
only 19,900 have been positive. While India has scaled up its efforts, it still remains behind several other nations.
The lockdown in India has definitely helped reduce the spread of the virus. While there are people who are waiting for this lockdown to get over so that they can go out of their houses and enjoy normal life once again, there are several who think the release from lockdown may increase the number of cases once again. Now it's up to the government to decide whether the country will see an extended 3.0 lockdown or whether the country will limp back to normalcy once again.